All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Welcome back to another episode of Full Profits Podcast. We are doing an episode of Clean Breaks. My co-host today is my man's and them. State your name, gangster.
Cesar in the house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So me and Cesar, uh, we are lovers of boxing, and this is something that we do as we head into the weekend where Saul Canelo Alvarez will be facing BJ Saunders. What a crazy week of boxing so far, huh? It's only Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday, bro, and there's already so much drama, bro. This
So much
theater is
bullshit.
just getting started.
Yeah,
We
man.
talking about 2 feet. We talking about 2 feet.
2 feet, my man. 2 feet. And the crazy part about this ring being only 18 feet is if you wanted it to be 20, 22, or 24, this is something that you could have put in your contract.
Something. But let me tell you this is A side shit. This is A side always, right? Like, what do you do? You know,
Nothing.
they run the game. That's it
Nothing.
is what it is.
Nothing.
And
You show up and fight.
that's it, man. And I think the fight is back on. Last thing I heard, it's back on. We'll see what he does because, I mean, he's stupid if he leaves all that money.
No, it ain't even
Not even
that.
that.
I just think, in my opinion, I don't know because I'm not around BJ Saunders or any of the crew or on the trial. Salute to the travelers, the gypsies of the world. But in my opinion, I think Billy Joe Saunders is a professional bullshitter. That's just what he does. He likes to play pranks. He likes to lollygag and shit like that. That's just what he does, and he does it
He's
to
good
get
at it.
certain. Yeah, he does it to get certain people involved or throw them off their game. But in this situation, Canelo don't care nothing about that. Like you can bullshit and play all you want. He's already relaxed. He knows what the mission is already. He chose you. You didn't choose him.
That's
So you,
true.
so you got to answer the bill. So all the plan and we leaving because it's only 18. The ring is only 18 feet. We're not gonna stand there and deal with that. That's fine. That's fine. That man's still gonna show up and whoop ass because that's what he do.
Yep.
That's what
He
he
has
do.
no choice, bro. He's man. He was just trolling people. That's all it is, bro.
That's
It's
it.
actually some people might say he's promoting it. So I mean,
And I
you can take it
appreciate
for
you
what you
promoting it.
want.
Yeah. I
You
appreciate
know?
I appreciate you promoting it. I appreciate you promoting it and putting your name out there because right now, of course, Canelo is getting all the publicity, right? Like he's a headliner. He's on Brian Custer podcast. He did Graham Benzinger, who I had never heard of until you put me onto him. He's on the zone. He's doing all these different radio spots or whatever it may be to promote the fight or just promote his brand. And while he's
Correct.
doing that, what is Billy Joe doing? Billy Joe is now showing you what Billy Joe does. He's doing pranks. He's telling you that 2 feet really matters, right? 2 feet matters in a fight like this.
Right, right, right. He wants that extra space. You
And I
know.
don't blame him. And I don't blame him. You want to be able to move around. You don't want to sit in front of Canelo. You don't. You don't want to give him the space to tee off on you. And I get that. I totally get that. But right now, if we're really thinking about it like that 2 feet isn't enough to pack your bags and leave. You done your workout, you done the road work, you've been working out in Spain, you went home and then you went to America or whatever it was that you did. But I don't see nobody giving up over 2 feet.
Nah, no. I mean, he's just doing it best, man. And you know what? It's working, right? It was trending earlier. It
Oh
was
yeah.
trending. Everyone was talking about it, bro. You know. And hey, even some other boxers got into it and said, man, he's just being scared if he is.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, and salute to Jamel Charlo because he called it. On the other hand, how I felt it was too. Like, oh, you turn into pussy right now. Like, this is not what you want the week of a fight.
Nope.
This is what you want to. You
Nope.
want all the aggression, all that testosterone, all that hard work. You want all that to be in front of you and to be holding you down and to keep you centered in everything. You don't want any doubts or anything creeping into your mind about beating a fighter. That's the
It's
last thing
true.
you want to deal with, So,
Mm-mm.
what a circus and shit show that's boxing has been over the last 2 years due to COVID and due to fighters not fighting other fighters. Uh, but
It's
I take it as it comes because it gives us something to talk about, right?
it does, man. You know, they just sitting back during the pandemic and they got their Twitter fingers going, bro. And you know, everyone's trying to fight somebody. I mean, my biggest letdown of that was Gary Russell Jr. I was
Mm.
like, come on, my guy. Like, it's bad enough you fight once a year, man. Like, you,
It
and he's
seems
just
like
like,
he was a kickoff to this shit.
man, yeah. And I was like, all right, look, he got David Hayden talking. I'm like, good. You don't get in with him, and just disappeared.
Devin Haney wanted that fight.
Yeah, he called him out. All right, cool. He
Yeah,
called me out. You called my name. David Haney called him right away. Let's go.
yeah.
He sent him a contract, right?
Then he said
And,
that it wasn't a real contract; it was a
yeah,
draft and all these other different things. So,
yeah.
so what are your thoughts on Gary Russell, Mister Gary Russell? What are your thoughts on him?
Man, I like Gary Russell, man. He's
Okay,
he's always been good. Obviously he took on Lomachenko early. He's the only dude that wanted that smoke early on. He did good, and unfortunately it didn't last long, man, because
he got smoked.
Lomachenko, yeah, he got smoked, man. But hey, yeah, I think he's still game though. And you know what? I don't know if that happened when I think it happened at a lower weight. I might be wrong, right?
I
Or
think
was
it was
I
126 or
right?
122. It was either
As
126 or
soon as
122.
Because as soon as Gary moved up in weight, man, he started beating ass. He started knocking him out. I mean, except with the Jojo Diaz fight was good. It was competitive, but man, he put into work and
That
it
was a
showed.
good fight.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good fight.
Definitely.
I enjoyed that fight. So my thoughts on Gary Russell are this. I think Gary Russell is a very talented boxer, but I don't know if it's something that's going on behind the scenes with his camp or if it's just that he doesn't want to fight. Like that's the thing that bothers me. Like
Yeah.
you call guys out, you called out Bud Crawford. I don't even know if Bud was really looking at him like that was a serious deal. But when Devin Haney called you out, like that was a call to answer the bell. And for some reason he didn't answer that. I don't know
Mhm.
if it's a family issue or something going on in the background, but we need to see more of Mr. Gary Russell, and we don't. And I don't know if it's injuries or family or if contracts aren't the way they should be when it comes to getting him in the ring. But I would like to see more of him. I think he's good for the sport of boxing at the lower weights. I think he's an exciting fighter because he is a fast fighter. Uh, I enjoyed his last fight against Niambar, but it was
Yeah.
it was well it was an okay fight for me to watch. I didn't get much of it because it seemed like he was just able to use his speed just to get the guy to back up and keep him at a distance. But uh, we need to see more of Gary, man. We do.
Man, yeah, I would love to see him getting mixed in with these young kids, I mean, Tank's right around there. You got
Yes.
Stevenson around there.
Chris
Obviously,
Colbert.
you got Chris Colbert, Haney. You could go back and get your get back from Lomachenko. You could do that too,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know?
Yes. And I would
So
like
I
to see
mean,
him do that.
yeah, man, there's a lot of options for Gary Russell. I mean, obviously we don't know the intricacies of business in the back end, but it sucks as a fan to see this guy just fight once a year, bro. You know?
So let me say this too. I just looked it up. So when he fought Vasily Lomachenko, that was his second. That was Vasily's second fight.
Oh damn. Oh damn.
That was the second fight at at featherweight.
Okay.
Wow, wow. So
Telling
yeah,
you, man. Yeah.
so
I
yeah,
remember that.
out of 30 something fights, Lomachenko did put in work, but I will say this: they kind of moved him along a certain way. You know what I mean? Like they kind of pushed him around different weight classes to avoid certain guys too. Um, when he fought, what was my man, the Axeman? When he fought Nicholas Waters, the Axeman,
Nicholas Walters. Yeah.
this is a guy that been out for what 2 years or whatever, and you come back and you and Vasily Lomachenko just smashed him. You know what I'm saying? Just made him quit or whatever it was. But
And
I felt
Stewart,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, I felt like that was. I feel like that was one of those situations where they were making sure that they picked the right guys for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in the sport
And
of boxing, they do it, but
definitely. Whatever happened to Nicholas Walters, man? Because before that, he had just beat Nonito Domier. I remember
woo,
that fight. I
remember
remember
that
that fight.
fight?
Yeah, he had just beat him, bro. He's wild. He even told Nonito at the post Like, hey, can you be my sparring partner? Yeah, he was wild, man, Nicholas, for saying that.
Wow, I didn't even know that he
Yeah,
said that.
he told him that, bro. I mean, I'm pretty. He might have meant it well, but
Yeah,
and Nonito just looked at him like, nah, fuck that shit. Like he
because
wasn't having
the
none of
thing,
it.
yeah, the thing about it was is I don't think Nonito expected the taller guy to be able to hit hard like that
Mhm.
and be able to hit hard for rounds, like all the way through the fight until it ended. Because
Yeah,
he gave Nonito a pounding, didn't
he did.
he?
He did.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he got the best of Nonito that night, the whole way, bro. And then I don't know after that fight who he fought, but I know Lomachenko came right around then, and then it's
Yeah,
history there.
he was out for a while. I don't know what happened. And then when he came back, I think the first or second fight back was Loma. And I said it when I heard that, I was like, that's bad. Like I wouldn't take that fight. I wouldn't take a fight like that. When a
Hmm.
guy is active like that and you haven't had the time to adjust, those are fights that unless you're in the gym and you're working that hard to stay ready, I wouldn't take a fight like that.
That's a difficult fight, man. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
this.
I mean, if you look at Canelo, like he had time off, like he didn't really fight the way he wanted to fight. But neither has BJ Saunders. Like he just got himself into this type of shape to fight. Did you see his last performance, BJ Saunders?
It was a the zone card, right? Well, against
Yeah, Martin. I think he Martin Murray.
was it Martin Murray?
Martin
It
Murray.
was man, it was all right. It wasn't the 160 BJ Saunders we came accustomed to. 160 version. This is the one in a heavier weight.
Yeah,
It was all right, man.
I wasn't
It
too
wasn't.
thrilled about it. I wasn't
Mm-mm.
too thrilled about it. I sat there and I watched it, and I was like, okay, I'm expecting a boxing perfectionist, right? But at some point, I would like to see you just step on the gas and cause some pain. And I didn't see anything like that.
No, me neither.
I
No.
think
You know
around right
what? It's
around
actually. Mhm.
the eighth or ninth round, I got up and I started cooking or whatever.
I was just about to tell you, it's a forgettable fight.
Yeah, it
That's how
is.
much I remember.
It is.
You know,
It
it's
is.
just it was an all right performance. He did what he had to do, scrapped it up, and then he just sat and wanted to see if he could get that Canelo fight.
Yeah. I
That's
mean, he
it.
was gonna get
That's it,
it.
man.
He was gonna get it. I feel like he already knew he was gonna get that fight. I feel like he knew that he was next in line. The whole thing is to play the game and act like you don't know what's going on, but everybody knows you were gonna get that fight.
Right, right, right,
Because
right, right.
do you remember I was saying when he came back, when Canelo came back, toward the end of 2020, I was like, yo, he gonna fight all European fighters coming up. Watch. Do you
Mm-hmm.
remember that? I was like, yo, he
Yeah,
gonna
you sure
fight
did.
all. Yeah, I was like, he gonna fight all European. He gonna fight nobody over here. He ain't gonna fight nobody over
No.
here.
Mm-mm. Yeah, he went over there and he's trying to get all them belts, bring them back here, and
Absolutely.
then this is his last. I think I saw one of the. I think at the Brian Custer interview, the podcast, he said this is his last fight, and then he'll go see what's up with BBC.
PBC, yeah, he go Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant will be the next guy.
Nice.
And that will
Yep.
be for undisputed.
Yeah, that's gonna be good too, man. That's gonna be a good one. What do you think of Caleb Plant? By the way, like his last fight against um
Truax, was it Truax?
Truex, Caleb Truex.
So,
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. I think so. I think he's a fast fighter. I think he's technical. I think he has very good boxing skills. I think he has the goods to beat Canelo. But the thing about it is, like, if you don't, for the people that are listening, I'm a fan. I ain't no fan, but I like Canelo. Like, I think the dude is. I think he's something that we haven't seen in a while and that we need for boxing. Even though he doesn't fight the top fighters, I just think in the situation for Caleb Plant, his boxing skill that night when he fights Saul Canelo Alvarez, like he has to be flawless. He has to be
Yeah.
flawless. Like his speed, Caleb Plant has really good speed. He has really good speed. I'm not going to take that away from him. He has very good speed. He knows how to box and he knows how to move. He's very light on his feet. But that means nothing to the other guy who has 50 something fights
He's been in there with all types of styles already.
Yeah. Yeah.
The good thing is that I want to see him against a younger, like BJ Saunders is finally a younger guy, more fresher
Yeah.
guy that,
Yeah.
who is going to give you something back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to see that and get that in, Good. I want to see all the best fight the best. Man, our sport is amazing. When it's on, it's on.
When the best are fighting the
So I'm
best,
definitely.
that's what makes this sport better. When the best are fighting the best, and we're not seeing that. I think we talked about this before. In the age of social media, where these guys are all running their mouth and they have phones, that kind of takes away from the sport because they're talking too much. And some of the shit that they're saying, they don't really mean. They're just talking because they got a phone in their hand, they got a mouth, and they don't mean a lot of the shit, and they just running their lips. It's a lot of
Right.
lip service, but um, if you I'm from the old school, and certain other boxers are still had certain other boxers still had that mentality where if you mention my name in any article or online or whatever it is, that means you got to see me. Roy Jones is like that. Mike Tyson was
Yeah.
like that. You like that. I'm like that. Like if you say my name, I got to find out what that's about. You know what I mean? Like I want to see Devin Haney's like that. Like if you speak in my name, I gotta have that smoke. So it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Like I would like for the sport to continue to grow and get better, and the best fight the best. Um, I saw an old article where Canelo said something like, uh, Demetrius Andrade is a boring fighter. And I thought about that. I was like, well, the guy
Yeah, he
you,
did say that before.
yeah, and I was like, well, the guy you about to fight is boring.
Mm-hmm.
BJ Sanders is a boring fighter. He's a boring fighter. Like what separates them? What separates them? Because Demetrius Andrade has more knockouts, a few more knockouts than you do. He has around the same amount of fights that you have. He's taller, stronger, bigger than BJ Saunders. So like when you say fighters are boring, like what are you saying? Are you just saying they're just smarter than you?
But what do you really mean? Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
smart.
exactly.
Are they
Exactly.
smarter
Like,
than
what are you trying
you?
to insinuate?
Are they more of a risk
Mm-hmm.
because you
There
can't,
you go.
you
That's
know
the
what I
word.
mean? Are they more of a risk for you? So uh yeah,
Yeah.
Caleb Plant isn't a walk in the park. That's not going to be a walk in
Nope.
the park. I still
Mm-mm.
think Canelo wins, but I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it'll be. No, I see like you. It's not a walk in the park. It's also a risky fight. Now, compare how risky I would say is. I give Caleb more of a chance than I do BJ Saunders. That's how
Okay.
much I think that Caleb can win. Um, I think Caleb is taller than Canelo, right?
Yes. Caleb is like 6'1",
Yeah, right. I figured.
6 feet 6'1".
Yeah, so like I feel like man, if he comes in there, man, pops that jab in his face, fucks up his rhythm, man, it could be a good night for Caleb, bro. Man. He could just snatch up all his belts that he already went and got, So yeah, I mean, I think it's a risky fight. But I definitely, I don't know, man. I think one thing that Canelo got from the Mayweather fight was seeing Mayweather utilize his energy, meaning he doesn't just waste it on anything. I think that's one thing. If you notice Mayweather, he was always relaxed, and when he had to let on the gas, he would do it. And I think that's a lot of things that he learned from that fight. Like, hey, I don't just have to move around all crazy. Just gonna conserve some energy, and then pop in quick combinations,
Yeah.
throw in some power shot here and there, come back, chill, move around.
Yeah. And
Levels, right?
the levels
So
and the way he sets up the punches, Canelo.
yeah,
I've watched the way he does that. He does it well. Over the last few fights, I watched the things that he do. When a guy is mobile, he doesn't throw one shot. He'll throw three or four, and he just wants one or two of those to be the ones that actually connect. I noticed that about Canelo. Like he does the things that he used to do. He does them at a higher level now. He bends more at the waist when he gets closer, because he's
yeah,
setting you up for traps, right?
Right.
At times he'll walk in head up or he'll hunch over into like a turtle shell. It's just things I noticed now
Yeah.
about the way that he does. Um, and I like it because it shows his growth and his experience in the ring, and that's the reason why I say a guy like Caleb Plant is still at a disadvantage because Caleb Plant has what 2021 fights.
Yeah. How many styles has he seen? Has he seen a strong, short fighter coming at you that has a good head movement?
Yeah,
You know, uh, watches his distance, his footwork too. Like that's why we need to see all these. And you know what? And a lot of young fighters that are out there, it's good to get in with all styles, man.
yeah,
It's only gonna make you better.
absolutely,
It's only gonna make you
absolutely.
better, man.
And the variety of punches that Canelo is able to throw is a big advantage to him too. Canelo does throw single punches, but he's one of the few people out here right now in the game that does throw in combinations once he gets close enough to you. Errol Spence throws in punches, combos. Sean Porter will throw, will throw in combos. Uh, what's the young boy's name? Noye,
Ennis.
Inoue.
Oh,
He throws in
Inoue.
combos. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I think he's more. I think Inoue is more of a power boxer because everything he's doing is to get your ass out of there. But yeah,
yeah,
Jerron Ennis at welterweight, I think he might be the top combination puncher.
man. Shout out to Jerron Ennis, man. That
Absolutely.
boy is gonna
Salute to
be
the
something
yes,
else.
sir. Salute to the whole Ennis camp. His dad, Bozy, all those guys, man. Um, that's a talented young fighter, and his brothers were fighters too, and a dad. So it's all in the bloodline. And
Yeah,
I think he's the youngest. So him and Canelo have that in common where
yeah,
the youngest boy got all the gifts. He got to
that's
see
true,
everything.
man.
So
When he came out with that great performance, a lot of the top welterweights kind of still quiet, bro. I don't know if
yeah.
you noticed.
Oh, he
Yeah,
got
I was like,
quiet. It got
yeah,
only
it got
person that
quiet.
said something. Only person that said something was Earl. Earl told him he's like, "You a pup. I'm the big dog in the yard." He said you better be careful. He said you
Hmm.
ain't ready for that. And here's the thing about that. Like I salute Jerron Ennis for calling out all of them. I salute that. I think that's very good. But it's levels. It's just levels. And if anybody knows what I'm saying, what I'm getting at is that no one that has worked so hard to get 2 or 3 belts around their waist is gonna take on a guy that doesn't have much to gain from. You know what I mean? It's
Not much
high,
of a reward.
yeah, it's high risk, low reward to fight a guy like Jerron Ennis, and to come to bring you into that light and give you that type of shine after I worked so hard to get to it, after I beat all these champions and beat these fighters and took this hard ass road to get here. They're not just gonna forfeit that over to you and say, all right, cool, I'll take the fight next. And if you look at their history, it's not a lot of guys that did that. Like they actually just had to earn it. And one of the hardest guys we know that had to earn it was Marvin Hagler. He fought damn near anybody.
Yeah,
Even when they told him to fight the Boston circuit or whatever, the Philly circuit, because they said Benny Briscoe and guys like that, no one wanted to fight him. He went and fought all those guys and only lost one of those fights. And he went on that circuit and he fought the best fighters that they had over there. So uh, I salute Jerron Ennis, aka Boots. I think he's a good fighter. I haven't seen a guy besides Errol and Sean Porter throw punches and bunches like that. Like I don't see nobody else doing that at welterweight. If
yeah, definitely, definitely.
if you know somebody, bring them up. But as far as I know, like I haven't seen anybody sit. Uh,
Currently as it stands, no, I don't.
yeah.
It's just like Earl, Sean Porter.
Oh,
I
Keith
mean,
Thurman. Keith Thurman will do it. He'll do like a 2 or 3.
oh yeah, that's right, that's right, that's right. The reason why we forget Thurman is because this man's out of injury, man. So
Yeah,
hope he comes back strong. But yeah, that's probably why we just missed him. But yeah, man. Say
inactivity.
young Ennis is his time is gonna come.
Yeah,
He's already making some noise.
big time, big time.
So I hope he starts getting bigger names, and we'll see what's next for him, man.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, absolutely. So, what do you think about So I think I sent you. I think I text you and I said I got Canelo 7-5.
Oh yeah, I told you 8-4
Eight.
Canelo.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you did. You said okay. You said eight
I
four.
said he'll definitely be in the beginning. He will let them rounds go, but
Mm-hmm.
then I think he'll start lighting them up midway.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's talking about knockout. Everyone's talking about knockout. I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen BJ Saunders hurt, so I don't know if his chin has been really tested. So I'm not sure.
No.
But I see it 8-4. Canelo putting on good work, cutting off the ring well, and working that body till this dude is just gonna be able to just stand around. You
Yeah.
know, you never
Yeah.
know. He might just start worrying about the body, start ducking down them elbows, and the face is wide open.
I think he's gonna hit everything. I just think he's gonna hit everything. I think Canelo's plan. To me, I think part of it now is because Canelo understands it. When you fighting the taller fighters, hit everything, hit whatever's in front of you. So
Oh
I think,
yeah, like
yeah,
what's his name? He took his
Callum
he
Smith.
fucked up fucking ball. He had like a
Yeah,
baseball coming out of his
yeah,
shoulder, bro.
yep. Had that contusion or whatever you call it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he worked on that left arm more than he did anything else. And about like the eighth or ninth round, he was trying to shake it out, and Canelo was pointing at it like, how I feel.
That shit hurt, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So, I think in this fight particularly, he'll do a lot of hitting at the hips, hitting at the elbows, hitting at the arms, just touching them up, and then that's why I say he'll probably get he'll let some rounds go, but he'll be filling out Billy Joe Saunders like the speed and where Billy Joe is, because people don't understand that he's stalking fighters now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's stalking them. Like he's not mowing you down. He's stalking you so he can have an understanding of where it is that you plan on being at. If you go back and watch what he did with Lara, even though I think he lost that fight with Lara. If you go back and watch it, he started watching the movement to see where the guy was going to be. But I think that he'll watch Billy Joe Saunders and let some of those rounds go so he can warm up. Like, all right, once I get this nice sweat and I get an understanding of what it is you're doing, I'm gonna start pushing the pace.
Definitely. I think he'll be looking. I think he'll be trying to feint a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to
Mm-hmm.
see how to get BJ Saunders off from reading him,
Yeah.
and then I think that's when he'll start cutting a little bit more and trying to close the distance, work a little bit on the body.
Mm-hmm.
I think I feel like he's gonna start working the body really, really early. Then again, he always does, but in this case, you got to stop this dude because he's a mover. You got to cut the ring well, and you got to make sure you slam on that body, man, because you slow him down towards the end of the fight, he's there. He's just gonna be there.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
mowing down, you know.
And I feel like if
It's
it's if Canelo's able to get to the body early and often, and he slows BJ Saunders down, I think that's when he'll do what he normally tries to do, and that's get your ass on up out of there, because he'll know. Canelo knows. Canelo knows.
no, definitely. Yeah, he's gonna be. I think a lot of experienced fighters always set the pace. They
Yeah.
set the rhythm and the tempo for the fight. And
Mm-hmm.
if you see Canelo already set the tempo early on, man, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
He's fighting his fight, and I
Absolutely.
don't think BJ Saunders is gonna have anything else to do. He's never been with anyone else in the ring like that.
Not like this. Not like
Oh
this.
man,
And the other part I didn't discuss with you yet because I wanted to say it on here is we don't know what type of shape Billy Joe Saunders is going to come in. I think he's going to come in motivated. I think he's going to come in with a point to prove. All this joshing and uh, professional bullshitting that he's doing, I think it's all a game to kind of get people involved or get people turn their heads. But I also think it's being done to bring awareness to what could happen. You know what I mean? But he can't talk about anybody using PEDs because he's a PED user himself. But the
yeah,
other
that's so true, man.
the other thing about it is in his training camp, I hope he did train to throw some really hard shots. I hope he did, because you are not going to keep this guy off you.
Oh, he's gonna be there. Triple G found that out in the second fight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like he kept
Absolutely.
coming. He kept coming. Stood in the center.
Yep.
Kept
Stalked
coming
him.
at him.
Stalked
The
him.
whole fight. The whole fight. He had no answer after that. It was competitive though, but he was shocked. Like, what the like damn, I'm normally stocking. I'm the big fish.
Yes.
You know, I'm the big dog when I come here. Not that day. Not that day.
No, sir. Not at all. And for anybody who watched that fight, go back and watch around was it the 6th round or the 7th round, Cesar? Golovkin waved him in. He was like, yo, come on, let's go. Let's get to it. You know, and Canelo just looked down like, no, I got it. Like, you got to take it from me now.
7th round. Yeah.
It was either the 6th or the 7th round.
Mm-hmm.
Golovkin backed up. But when he backed up, if you watch his hands, he did like that. Like, come on. And then Canelo just looked at him like, I got it already. Like, you got to come on. Like, I'm up.
You're right. Like you wanted me to come at you, right? Oh man, that was a great fight. That was a really good fight.
Speaking of that, he said, I want big drama show. I want a Mexican style fight. Do you really think that's what he wanted? Golovkin?
I don't think that's what he wanted. I think he just said that. You know, I think it was all, or maybe he did want it. Maybe he did. Maybe he thought, you know what? I'll get this little dude out, you know, and take all his fans with me, you know?
Yeah.
He ain't gonna fight me. He ain't gonna stand there and do, you know, I run the Mexican style, right? Not run it, but he's pretty much like adapted it. And it failed. He came at him with whatever he wanted. And at the end, man, his face just said it all.
Yeah. And in my opinion, in that second fight, because I believe Golovkin won the first fight. That's just my belief. Or that's just what I think, in my opinion. But in the second fight, I really and honestly feel if he wanted a Mexican style fight, that fight wouldn't have lasted 12 rounds. I don't know who would have won, but I know it wouldn't have went 12 rounds.
Oh, I see where you're getting at. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if you really wanted a Mexican style fight, we know what that is. Like, I don't think he would have lasted 12 rounds of doing that.
That's some phone booth, high volume punching, man. You know, nonstop pressure.
Yes. And the only thing you're doing is moving. You're moving like you're rotating in a tire. That's all it is. And it's just an ass whooping for 12 rounds. It's Peter Griffin and that damn chicken. That's all it is.
Yep.
I don't think he would have lasted. I don't think he would have lasted 12 rounds fighting like that. That's just me, in my opinion. I know other people may feel differently, but
definitely, man. Definitely.
I don't think you last 12 rounds with Canelo in the center of a ring or backing up in front of him or pushing him back in that type of fight. I don't see it.
With that said, how would you feel would happen on a third one? If and when it even happens.
Okay. So Golovkin hasn't really fought any top tier competition. And to me, I don't think he ever does. The only person he's ever fought was 2 fights with Canelo, Danny Jacobs, which I feel like he kind of lost that one. And Derevyanchenko, I feel like he lost the Derevyanchenko fight too.
Ooh, man.
I feel like he lost that fight. All right. And in his top fights, when he fights guys, he gets marked up. We are now at the point where Canelo is a lot stronger, smarter, and he knows who you are. He knows who Golovkin is. So I feel like that's another ass whooping. I feel like it goes the same way. Except for Canelo may mark up Golovkin a lot more.
Okay.
I feel like he'll hurt him more.
Can you see him touching the canvas?
If he throws a wrong shot early on, probably, yeah.
Okay.
Probably. If you ever watch Canelo, like if the pace is at a higher pace for all the rounds, he kind of like cruises the latter part if he knows that he's up. If you watch the second fight against Golovkin, around 9 or 10, the pace kind of slowed down and it kind of got sloppy. If you watch it. Just watch the way they fight versus those first 7 or 8 rounds, and then a 9, 10, 11, 12, it kind of changed. You know. So I don't know if it was due to injury or anything like that, but the pace of that fight kind of changed. But I see him doing a lot of damage to to Golovkin.
To Golovkin.
Yeah, and I could be wrong. Maybe Golovkin, because Golovkin's a decent boxer as well. He's a pretty good boxer with 300 and something amateur fights, 400 and something amateur fights. He's a boxer. He knows how to box. You know, you can't last that long in the amateurs and everything and not be able to box. But I don't know, man. I feel like if he did make the adjustments, he would have to come forward. Like you can't stand on the back foot and box. You can't. You
Not all
can't.
night.
Mm-mm.
Eventually, you're gonna get tired. You're gonna stop.
Mm-mm. But it'd just look bad for him if he got on his back foot. If he just sat there and jabbed and let Canelo come forward again, because it'll be
Right?
the same fight.
Because you got to remember, way back when he was coming up, he was the boogeyman at 160. You know, a few years ago, he was the guy. You know, he was a guy who stalked you. You know, got rid of guys early. Um, Obviously, we know who they were, the guys he got rid of. So, but man, he was labeled that dude, and you know, it looks bad when you're the one getting run down. You know, but
But
we'll
he was
see. I
like,
mean, I think
guys, I want the big drama show. I want the big guys. This is serious. This is boxing is serious. I want fight. I want a big fight. And
yeah.
you got your big fight. The first one, and I give it to him. It's on his record as a draw, right? I
Mm-hmm.
give it to him. He won that fight. But that second fight, man, was all power. It was all power boxing. It was all power boxing and combinations coming from Canelo. Man, that uppercut he hit Golovkin with in like the 10th or 11th round. That uppercut when Golovkin threw the straight right hand and Canelo kind of like led him into it and he threw that uppercut to the body and you saw Golovkin step back. I was like, yeah, yeah. That shit hurt, don't it?
For real,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, he
That
been
shit
training for
hurt.
that. Yeah, he been
Yeah,
training for that.
he
Them
knew it.
shots he been training for. Those
Mm-hmm.
shots. And all you gotta do
He
is keep
knew it,
coming
man.
forward instead of backing up.
That's right, man.
Remember, Canelo was waving him in like, "Where you going? Stop
Like,
going
come on,
back.
man.
Come here. Like this is what
You
you
told
asked
me.
for."
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want
I
that fight,
remember
man.
that Abel Sanchez at the end of that fight was like, he didn't even know what to say because he was the one barking the whole time, the whole promotion. Oh, he needs to stand like a man, you know, like a true Mexican.
Yeah, yeah.
And he did it. He's like, my hat's off to him. It was his night.
We didn't think he was gonna do it.
We didn't think he was gonna do it. Like,
But what you
damn.
expect? You insulted that man. You told him you wanted a real Mexican fight. Like that's an insult. I
That's
know
hilarious.
that. I know that's an insult. Like, come on, man. But Abel Sanchez is the same one that says shit like black fighters are boring.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely, man. He who is he with now?
Who was that?
Abel Sanchez. Who's he training now?
I don't know, but he's got some decent champions over there. I think
Okay.
in like lower weight classes. I think he's got some decent champions. I'm
Okay.
not sure who's in his stable right now. Yeah, but
I
as far as being boring, like I don't think Charlo Jamal is a boring fighter with 30 something wins and 20 something knockouts. I don't think that's a boring fighter.
Oh no, not at all, man. Not at all.
I don't think that's a boring fighter. I think if you put Golovkin in front of him, even in his prime, I think Golovkin would have a problem with that guy.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I would love to see him and Golovkin go at it, man.
Who you
I want
telling?
to see that, man. You know, like sooner or later, you just can't be Wade and Canelo. Y'all gotta fight each other too.
Then
You
he
know?
fought this guy Sarah Meta. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. Like I don't know if people are just waiting for that ticket, but it's like screw that.
Everybody trying to punch that ticket, man. And see, here's the thing. I get it. Everybody want to fight Canelo. Everybody want to earn a big payday. But in the process of that, why don't everybody just fight each other, man? Get that shit out the way. Like make it
Yeah,
like a round, like a Super Six or some shit. You
there
know what I
you
mean?
go. There you go.
Like
Yeah,
make it
I
a
want to
Super
see that.
Six for all the
Definitely.
belts and have Canelo in it the same way.
Why not?
Yeah, the same way they did the super middleweight when Andre Ward did it.
He sure did. Took all the smoke and took Carl Froch's belt that time.
Carl Froch still salty about that. Still salty about that.
Couldn't beat him, man.
Nah.
Andre Ward, man. Shout out to Andre Ward, bro.
Salute to Andre Ward.
He's the only boxer who was low key. Everyone just flew right over him just because he's a quiet guy. You know, he's not really out there. Social media really like, you know, talking smack. He was always cool, family man. Just went in, did the business, you know, and kept it quiet. His personal life quiet.
Yeah, I remember when he said during the Super Six, he was like, I think they underestimate me. I don't think these people realize that I can win this.
Yeah. That man, I would love to see a tournament like that. Imagine.
They need to do it. They need to do something because these fighters, man, these really good fighters or great fighters, they just can't keep ducking the smoke, bro. They like you can't just keep doing this. You can't just keep doing this. Like they just need to throw them all in a tournament. Each promoter puts up a certain amount of money in the pot.
There you go.
And let them guys go after it, man. Let them go up and shake up the pot. Shake up the pot.
We might even see some crazy trilogies.
Absolutely.
You know? Like back in the day.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with trilogies, man.
And speaking of Andre Ward, he back when he was fighting, he wanted to fight Triple G.
Oh, he did.
He did. Yeah.
He did. Yeah. He was waiting for him too.
Oh, yes, sir.
Like, hey, you want to come up? Because all the greats go up in weight.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he even said, I'll come down to 164 or 160. But when he no, he was at 168 when that fight was.
He was at 168 at the time.
He was at 168, yeah.
He's at 168. And then he was calling down. He said, you know, Triple G, come up here. If he got no one else up there. At that time, 160, he had all the belts. He said, come up here then. All the greats go up. Yeah. It's just, you know, he didn't. Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for that, you know, little redhead down at 154. You know?
Don't that seem like kind of like a bully mentality though? Yes, no? Seem like a bully mentality where you try to fight smaller guys. Because remember, he said he'll go to 154 to fight Floyd.
He sure did say that. He sure did. And I remember Abel Sanchez said, you know, all he needs is 1 year to go down, you know, to like cut all his weight and go down and fight Floyd.
Just to fight Floyd. That's like bully bullshit, man.
They're calling down the smaller fighter. Let them dudes come up, man.
And then you fought Kell Brook.
You see what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Kell Brook put his hands on that dude, man.
He did. Kell did good, but when Golovkin realized he was getting whooped, that man was like, "Let me go in here and stop this."
Yeah, guys, it's making me look bad.
Yeah.
Stop. You got to stop.
Yeah, guys, like this is serious. I not feel the punch. No, he's too small. But you knew he was too small. Why would you take the fight? You knew that.
Right. You knew that. It might be that, man. He thought in his head, like, hey, I'm the bigger guy, you know? I'll take this little dude, you know, go down there, take his belts. We'll see. I mean, right now he's laying low. You know, if I was him, I'd be like, man, fuck that. Let me go get your mom's belt. If I'm Triple G.
Or man, what's the other guy? From
Andre.
No, Ryota.
Oh, Ryota Murata?
Yeah. He got a belt.
Right. He got the super WBA, so he got the lineal one. Go get that one.
Go get that one. What you waiting on?
Yeah, stop waiting on Canelo, man. As much as we like him, just forget him, man. Make your own shit. You know?
He want that big money fight, man.
That's all it is, man. I mean, it's cool for them, but for the fans, this is where we're stuck. You know?
Yeah, but I don't think no one's told him, like, in order for you to be the best, you got to fight the best, Triple G. Like, you got to fight the best fighters. I feel like guys like him, and maybe I'm wrong. Forgive me. Well, don't forgive me, but if I'm wrong, like, you know, just say it. But I feel like guys like him, they remind me of watching Rocky. When Rocky finally won a belt and Clubber Lang was calling him out and saying, oh, you ain't fight nobody. You ain't fought nobody. You ain't fought nobody, sucker. And everybody in your camp know that you ain't fought nobody. Hey, little mama, when he was doing all that, when they were at the
at the press conference. Yeah,
and he was calling them out. He said, your corner, man, your manager, all of them know that you ain't fought nobody, fool. Everybody knows you ain't fought nobody. And then they went back. Yeah, you scared. I'm the man. Yeah, I feel like that's what's going on. I feel like that's what's going on. Like they know the managers and everybody. They know.
Yeah.
They know y'all can't do it. I'm just tired of it, man. I just want to see some real live. I just want to see some dope ass fights, man. And we're not getting them. We're not really
Yeah,
getting
man.
them.
I hope so, man. I hope whatever the future holds, it just gets better. Because
Yeah.
we got to get out of this like
Pigeonhole, man. This shit is
yeah, it's like we're
trash.
just stuck somewhere, man. And all these everything else that comes out is just whack.
Oh, let's talk about this real quick. Well, not real quick, but bang bang. Uh, Andre versus Williams. Did you what did you think of that fight?
Andre versus Williams. Oh, Liam Williams?
Yeah. What did you think of that?
Man, that fight, man. I was I was disappointed on with my man Andre.
Mm.
I couldn't believe that he was fighting at this level, man. Even after he knocked him down, and I'm like, all right, it's a wrap. Go in there and get this dude out. But no, man, he just let him get back. After that, he had some few moments, but I'm like, come on, man, I know you're way better than this, bro. Come in here, make a statement, smoke this dude out, call out everyone else. You put them on blast, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't happen, man. It didn't go that way.
To me, it's typical Andre. It was typical Andre. Hurt a guy early, act like you're gonna get him out of there, and then put on this show that we kind of like wondering how good are you really, and then like you sink to the level of the competition instead of boxing this guy for the rest of the fight like he could have done. He did this like capoeira boxing style in the ring, and it was kind of like, yo, you you're burning out all this energy to do what? Like we want to see you box or get this guy up out of here, and you're not doing either one. Like he was just like playing around or doing this like kung fu boxing style, and it just like he was just wasting all this
Yeah,
extra
man.
energy and all this extra time doing all this stuff. Like the 1-2 when he hit him with the 1-2 early on, and then the uppercut. Like I get all that, but why not just box him? It was like, and he was out of breath. At one point I was just like, oh
Yeah,
man,
man.
like
And his damn dad was telling him to stop drinking water because he was tired.
not yeah,
I
because
don't
he was
remember
moving
that.
too much, man. It was too much extra movement on his part, and watching that, I was just like, come on, bro. You want Canelo doing that?
Mm.
You want Canelo doing that? And the other part was that was when Liam Williams hit him with that right hand. I was like, man, can you imagine a Charlo or a Canelo hitting him with a right hand like that? I don't.
Totally different night, man. Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you stand there after that trying to fire back. There's no disrespect to Boo Boo Andrade. I think he's a decent boxer, but I think in these fights that we've seen him fight, was the last 3 or 4 fights, it's like he sinks down to the competition. It's like
Right.
he's
He
not
fights at their
focused.
level.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
know he can do better.
yeah.
That's
Absolutely,
more, that's more than it is. I was just
absolutely.
disappointed. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, and
I
and,
know you're better than
and
this.
shame on you too. Shame on you too, Eddie Hearn, for having that man come over there to the zone to be a part of the promotion and thinking that he's going to be one of the top fighters, and then he sits there with Golovkin over there, Canelo, and BJ Saunders over there. He didn't get any of those fights. Shame on you for doing him like that. Shame on you.
Yeah,
And then
man.
you tried to pawn off. He goes and tries to pawn off PBC and say that he can fight Charlo and he can fight anybody on the PBC network. No, 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 no. He went over there to fight the big dogs over there in that yard. He went over there to be king of the hill. Shame on you for having him come over there and wasting his time and acting like now all of a sudden you want to pawn him off on everybody else, saying that he can fight and he can go anywhere. Shame on you for doing bad promotion for him. That's your fault. Like that's your fighter. You should supposed to be making sure he gets the top fights, and he hasn't gotten none.
Mm-mm.
We seen Canelo fight Avni, Yildirim. We seen him fight who was the guy, Callum Smith. Even though I get that you wanted the belt, but Avni Yildirim, come on, man. You could have had Andre fight Canelo at just to even have a fight, just to have him fight at 160, 168, and then drop back down to 160, just for him to do it. Shame on you for doing him like that. Shame on you.
Could have
Like
got him
that.
BJ Saunders, right? When BJ Saunders
BJ
fought that one.
Saunders. You could have got him. You could have got him Golovkin. Golovkin's at 160.
Oh, there you go.
Golovkin's at 160. Remember when the BJ Saunders, when Andre thought he was gonna get the BJ Saunders fight, he said, "Yo, sign that contract, Billy Joe Saunders, so I can whoop that ass, so I
They
can
were
tap
about to
that
do
ass."
it, and then
Yeah, but that's what I said. I feel like BJ Saunders and them already knew in the background they were gonna get that Canelo fight. That's why I feel like they were gonna get that fight. It was just leading them on. But shame on Eddie Hearn for that. Shame on him.
yeah, man.
Shame on him for doing that, because a guy needs to have good fights, big fights, and he can't get them because you're saying other fighters and other promoters don't want to fight him. Well, you got three of the main guys that he need. You got
They're right
three
there.
of them. They're right there, and he didn't get not one of them. Shame on you. The guy that moved up from 154 to 160, and now you're talking about he can't stay at 160 for too long. Well, it's your job as the promoter to make sure he gets the fights, and you haven't done that. Shame on you.
Yep.
Shame on you. And you could see in Andre's posture after the fight was over, you could kind of tell he was kind of like upset with himself in the way that whole shit went down. Because he was like, yo, I could have done better. I could have done better, but he's a hell of a fighter. He kept coming forward, blah, blah, blah. But shame on Eddie Hearn for that. Shame on him for that, man. Like, this guy's over here. He's doing the biggest part. He's fighting.
All right.
All you gotta do is put the fighters in front of him, and you haven't done that. Golovkin has a belt.
Yeah, I don't get that one. They're right on 160, bro.
Right at 160. That should be Andre's next fight. That should be his next fight.
That should be both their next fight. They should be. Yeah, because you know what? He's probably just waiting on. He's probably thinking, well, you know what? Maybe I could make that trilogy with Triple G. You know what I'm saying? He's probably thinking that, but that should be the next fight. Triple G and Boo Boo. Triple G and Boo Boo.
That should be the next fight on a DAZN card. That should be a main event.
Main event headline, man.
That should be a main event, bro. And was it Estrada and Chocolatito? That was a very good fight. Let them run it back and do that on that same card.
Ooh, there you go.
I love that fight.
Matchmaker.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was a good fight, though, right? Chocolatito versus Estrada. That was a good fight. I love Estrada.
That was very good. That was a very good fight. Yeah. That was a very good fight, man.
And all they did, that was that Mexican style. Like, they give and take all night. All night. That was all night. Shame on Eddie Hearn for the way he's been treating Boo Boo Andre's career, man. Like, it's almost like he's saying, I got you here, but I don't know what to do with you. And if I can get you out the way, then I will, like, slide you out to somebody else. But I honestly think that should be the next fight for Golovkin.
That would be a great fight.
They should make that fight very soon, because I don't believe that Saul Canelo Alvarez will fight him in September.
No, I don't think so.
Canelo already said, I want to unify. I want to be undisputed at 168. So you're not getting that fight.
I mean, even at Andy Varese pay-per-view, Caleb said, we're ready for September. We're waiting. We're talking. So that's already in the back tables.
Yeah.
That contract's in back there.
Yeah. They might as well.
They already know.
Was it what? So he just fought in April, May, June, July, August, September. They might. You got 5 months, man. Eddie Hearn, what you doing, man? Make that fight. Triple G versus Andre.
Man.
Make that fight. Put on a good card, and make that fight. What y'all waiting on?
That would be a great fight.
That would be a great fight, because we will find out. I mean, even the only bad part is that Golovkin is older, and they're gonna say, "Well, oh, he was old when you beat him and all that." I don't think it matters what age Golovkin fought at. He's gonna fight if he fought a Charlo, a David Benavidez, or Andre at any age. I don't think that he gets to win. That's just me, though. That's just me. I don't know how you're gonna keep Charlo from coming forward or thinking that he can win. And he's not gonna let you just hit him and get away with it. Like, he ain't gonna take that shit. That's Lions only for real. So I don't see how you back off. You get a Charlo to back off of you. They want all the smoke, and they proving that. But make that fight, man. I think that's a good fight because I think that fight and do it for September, mid-September, or whatever time you can get it out the way of Canelo's fight because we don't know what day they're gonna actually fight for
Think
that
about
fight.
it. You set that up, right? You get Triple G, Boo Boo. Boo Boo takes the win. My man Boo Boo got 2 belts now. Now go fight Jamal.
Yep.
Now you gonna go for 3 belts.
Yep. Yep.
Then guess what? Now go get Ryota Maroda hiding somewhere in a Japan spa somewhere. You know?
Come on out, Ryota.
That's
Come on
it.
out.
Come on out. You gotta
Come
let
on
them
out.
booties go, man. Come out of that spa.
Yeah. Come on out and fight, man. Motherfuckers on. We tired of y'all hiding these belts and holding on to them, man. Holding these belts for ransom. We already got Patrick Teixeira to get that belt. Salute to Brian Castano for getting that belt. Salute for him to getting that belt at 154, whooping Patrick Teixeira's ass because he didn't even look like he wanted to fight that night. Teixeira.
No, man. Teixeira was not ready for him, bro. I think he underestimated Castano.
I think so too, because he's small. He's a smaller guy. He's like 5'7", 5'8". But that boy got a motor. I like when he come out and he be doing that shit. You know, I like when he be doing that shit. I be getting gassed up when he be doing. I'm like, oh, he ready to go.
Oh shit! Get your pizza. You start doing it too.
Yeah, he be doing that shit when they be saying his name. I'm like, yes sir. We about to fight because he got a motor. When he fought Arizona Lara, you know, he gave him a tough fight. He gave him a tough fight. I like Castano, and I salute him for stepping up and taking the Charlo fight right after he won. You know, because he said,
he took it. He's like, I want it. That's what we need. That's what we need in boxing, man. Just that's one thing we got to do is like these young guys just got to say, no, fuck that. I want that fight. Take it.
Yeah.
If you lose, oh well. You know, what if you give them hell?
Yeah.
Now everybody knows your name.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So we need to see, man. That. By the way, I can't wait for that fight too. That's gonna be a good fight.
Is that June? June or July? Yeah, it's June. It's June. It's June because I think they're gonna do it on like Juneteenth in Texas.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. That would be good, man.
Yeah, they're gonna do that
right in his hometown.
Yep.
For Jermel.
Yeah.
Hey, he could get that undisputed right then there, and man, he might even go up to 160, bro. And it's gonna have to make his brother go up to 160.
No, I think his brother gonna stay there. I think his brother gonna stay there. I think Jermel will stay. And he probably might try to get like fights that he didn't fight. He probably might go for like a J-Rock fight or some shit like that. Unless it just makes sense for him to move up. But I know Jamal wants to stay out of his brother way and let his brother do his thing.
Jamal's wild though, man. That dude will take all smoke. He'll probably even fight his
smoke.
brother.
He did. He said, I don't mind fight. He said, I'll fight my brother too.
He's crazy, man.
When he said that shit, I was like, this dude right here is bar none in the city right now, man.
He doesn't care, man.
You
in his way. Mm-hmm.
He said, I don't care. You in the way, you getting laid down. That's it. Like, but I salute that attitude because that's what we need. We need guys who aren't scared and they're gonna lay it all on the line.
And guess what? He has a loss, and I don't even care.
I don't care either. I don't care if he had 2 or 3 losses.
Exactly.
But it's the fact that you keep going.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that you keep going.
And that's what I want boxing to be, man. Forget those O's, bro. Forget them.
No, the O don't really mean nothing, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are putting too much emphasis in it. So what if you got a loss? It's not having a loss, it's how you lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody rolled your ass up, you know, and you didn't stand a chance in the ring, then I go, damn, man, like that was bad. You know, like maybe you should take a year off to get yourself together. If it's like one of those type of fights, but you know, somebody got to lose. That's the whole point. It's 2 men. It's 2 men in the ring, 2 women in the ring, and they're proving who's the best, you know, who's king of the hill. So someone has to lose. So I'm never worried about someone losing. Like the loss doesn't bother me at all. I'm not bothered by a loss. Only thing that bothers me is the way you lose, because it depends on the type of damage you may take.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, so if you fight Floyd and you get outboxed for 12 rounds, it's a loss. We know who Floyd is.
That's it. You fought the greatest of all time.
That's it, point blank. Like you fought Floyd. Like, congratulations, and you made $5-10 million. Like
$5-10 million. Yeah, there you go.
You went home. You probably barely got touched, man.
Yeah.
you know. But if it's a Pacquiao fight and you got steamrolled, and it's like, goddamn, you should probably take some time off.
Yeah.
Walking around with those Timothy Bradley injuries or some shit.
You mean getting pushed around in a wheelchair with them ankles, man.
Man, broke his ankles. I didn't even know that until you told me. Like, yo, he Bradley broke both of his ankles.
You're like, what? And I showed you the video at the post conference.
I was
Getting
like,
rolled out
getting rolled out.
in
I
a
was like,
wheelchair.
God damn.
It's like, yep, he broke his ankles. He was moving that much. He was moving that much, man.
But it made sense because when you go back and look, Tim was trying to land like really hard shots because he couldn't do much, you know.
Right. So he was trying to keep up with his crazy pace.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Shit, the process, you break your ankles literally. God damn, dude, that ain't wild. I don't know what is.
Pacquiao is a motherfucker, man.
That's he's still doing it, man.
Yeah, 70 fights. 70 fights.
You know, I'm kind of disappointed that him and the Bud fight, just the talks are dead.
You know what I think that was? In my guesstimation, I'm not around, I'm not involved in anything, but I don't think there's enough money in the pot with Bob Arum. I don't think there's enough money in the pot. I just don't. Because he's already said he's lost enough money trying to get fights for Bud that he could build a home in California, right? He said that. Right? So if that's one of the things you're saying, and then you try to make a fight for Bud and Manny says, I want 40 million. I don't care what, how you get it. I want 40 million. And we already know Arum doesn't want to spend his own money getting fights. So you got to have someone, was it a lender or whatever the process is, you got to have someone to pick up the site and everything. And you have to have it in a stadium where you can have fans. The only problem why I feel like that fight wasn't going to work, this is why I didn't think that it would work, is because instead of them doing it in Florida or Texas, he tried to take it all the way overseas. For an American fighter to make money, that didn't make any sense to me. Right?
You try to take it where Saudi Arabia, right?
Yeah, like what,
right? Something like that.
What the fuck was that for? Like, why do you need to go to Saudi Arabia to make a fight for Bud Crawford? His fan base is here. He could have sold that fight here. He just didn't want to.
Yeah, he didn't want to cough up the money. He wanted the Saudis, the oil barons, to pay for that fee.
Yeah.
To pay for their purses.
And they were probably like, Bud Crawford, what is that? Is that a beer?
Probably did say that.
Yeah, they were
even though they can't drink, but we know they could.
Yeah, we know they can. They were probably trying to figure out, like, who is this guy? What are you talking about? What is a Bud Crawford, man?
Yeah, man. So now I think last thing I read was him and Earl are in talks.
Manny and Earl.
But I don't think
that's gonna happen.
But I don't know.
I don't think that's gonna happen strictly because what's my man name? Ugas has a WBA he has a WBA title, and Earl already tweeted.
Yeah.
Earl already tweeted, "You got something that I want now. Congratulations," or whatever he said to him. So
because Pacquiao's the belt got taken away because he didn't fight for a year.
Correct.
And then it was automatic for Ugas.
He was.
So you're right.
Yeah.
So then
Yep. So I feel like that's the fight for Earl coming up next, probably.
Would that make him undisputed, or does he have all the belts yet?
That would only be 3. Terrence Crawford has the WBO.
Yeah.
Terrence has a WBO.
Man, why? You know what? I did read something that Bob Arum said that he's working on a fight for Bud that is not related to any ESPN fighters, whatever that means. I mean, the only other fighters I would know would then be on PBC. That's where all the welterweights are at. So I don't know what he's talking about. Really?
Sounds like Sean Porter.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good fight, man.
Sean Porter. That's the only because Sean Porter. He said he was thinking about activating his mandatory. I forgot how the story go. I probably got it wrong, but it was something about activating his mandatory and making Bud fight him.
Okay.
It was
There
something
you go.
like that because Sean Porter has his own podcast, so every now and then I catch it. And there was a clip that I saw on YouTube, and he was speaking on it, and he was like,
Yeah,
"I'll take,
definitely.
he was like, I'll take the fight. Like, I don't have no problem fighting." But
I hope he does, man.
so
That'll be a good fight.
here's my thing. I think that is the perfect fight for Bud. Away from Manny Pacquiao making the money and getting all the prestige and the clout from fighting somebody like Manny, I think Sean Porter is the perfect fight. And the reason why Sean Porter is the perfect fighter to me is because that's how you know where you fit in a welterweight division.
He's that barometer.
That's the gate. Like that's the gate to champions. Not he's not the gatekeeper, but to champions, Sean is the gate. Yeah, Sean is the gate. Sean is the line. You know what I mean? Either you're above that line or you're below that line. It'll either be him or Danny Garcia. Like I don't see him fighting anybody else. Like who else?
Yeah, exactly.
Who else is Bud gonna fight?
Right.
Who they gonna throw in front of him? Virgil Ortiz?
Nah, you don't want that. Bud has too bigger. He wouldn't. I wouldn't even want him to take that fight.
I wouldn't either. But
I'd be like, let that kid do his own plan, man. You got your own plan. Go unify. Go get these upper dudes, the upper echelon type of talent you need to go get after, man. Yeah, exactly. Who else? I mean, man, he's stuck somewhere. He's stuck too. So,
but he did it to himself, though. He did it to himself. Like this isn't a situation where there's much over on the top ranked side. Who's over there to fight? You see what I'm saying? Like all the fighters are that you need to fight.
Yeah, just the fact that we took long, I even answered that. This already tells you more than you need.
There's nobody for you to fight.
Yeah.
There's nobody.
Yeah, you need to, I hope that does happen for this.
The only people that he could fight, all right, goes like this. Ramirez Taylor fight. They found out who's undisputed at 140, and both those guys move up, and then those are the guys that you fight next because they're on top rank. That's it.
Oh man, that's gonna be a good fight. By the way, forgot about that fight, man.
Yeah,
undisputed at 140.
At 140, and that's gonna be a hell of a fight because Josh Taylor. I didn't know that he was like 5'9", 5'10".
Bro, a lot of people sleeping on this cat, man.
Yeah,
he can fight.
Yeah,
Ramirez, it ain't gonna be no easy part for Ramirez, man.
Oh man, that's gonna be a good fight. That may be what they call Mexican style fight right there. That may be Mexican style fight because Josh Taylor goes forward.
Yep.
I think, but he may end up boxing, but I think it's a good fight. And Ramirez has already said that he can't stay at 140 too much longer.
Yeah, right. He's a big dude.
Yeah, he said I drain myself to make the weight, but I make it because I am a champion and I'm professional. He said, but I can't continue to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh no, I don't know. How long I'm pretty sure if he even gets this title, this undisputed title, he might just drop them all and move up, like you said.
Man, right away.
Nothing else. Right. You accomplished it. Boom.
Yeah.
You move up if you want to. You want to defend them.
And the crazy part of that will be that Bud wasn't the undisputed champion at 140 for too long. He was that guy for 2 years.
He was that guy for a short minute.
Yeah, and then they came right along and did that and cleared it out.
And then he came up, but then got the WBO, but then just stagnated. A mandatory here, a con fight there.
Bob Arum. All that is Bob Arum.
That's it, man.
All that is Bob Arum.
Got stuck with old man Bob, bro.
Yeah. And to me, it would be no disrespect to nobody, but it would be a spit in my face if I was Terrence Crawford and I'm watching. I'm like one of your main, I'm like your flagship. Like I'm the biggest guy on the network, right? And then I see Tyson Fury come over and get all this love and he's paraded around as a champion, as he should be because he's heavyweight and it's a different type of thing. But He gets all the respect. He gets all the publicity. He gets all that shit, and none of that was ever given to you. None of that was ever given to you. There's no way I would have stayed with Top Rank with all that going on.
Nope. All the greats left Top Rank.
All of them.
All
And
of them.
that's what I keep saying. Like, how do you stay?
Yeah, all the greats left, man.
Floyd left. Cotto left. De La Hoya. He started Golden Boy. Pacquiao left.
Yeah. They all created their own promotions. That's it, man. Like Bud need to get out, make Bud Crawford promotions or Bud promotions. Crawford something, man.
Something.
Earl already got his Man Down promotions.
Oh yes, sir.
Like, come on, man. Like, you gotta wake up, man. Then again, I don't know, but hey, I hope he gets his fights. I want to see him in these big fights. He's multi-talented, man.
Yeah,
gotta see my man Bud. You know,
he's too talented.
Gotta see him.
And he's been waiting on big fights, but the effort is not there to get him to big fights. So please, I hope that fight happens. I hope he fights either Danny Garcia or Sean Porter, but I would prefer if it was Sean Porter, because Sean would be the test for him. That would be the test, man.
That'd be a great fight, because we know that Earl fought him. We saw how he fared. And if you're able to do something better than that, all it does is better for you, because that puts pressure on Earl. That says, hey, my man smoked him out. You dragged down the whole fight, right? It's great. So I hope it happens, and it's better for everyone, man.
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
Absolutely.
So I hope. Old man Bob got to loosen up the pockets, man.
Yeah. And then Terrence's contract is up, and they made a statement saying it was up in October or something.
Okay, so you got like a one fight left.
Yeah, well, it just runs out in October. That's what they were saying. It just runs out in October. I just wish that he just needs fights to prove that, this is where he belongs. Because a Kell Brook fight, like I hear you, I salute that, but we're talking about a Kell Brook who's been smashed up by Golovkin and then smashed up by Errol Spence. Like, we're talking about damage, and not saying that he can't, like, that Kell Brook couldn't do it, but as I like Kell Brook too, but or maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. Maybe because he did it so easily. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
he did. Maybe he's that good that he made it look easy, right? We're like, wow, man. The only way to know is if he, Special K comes back and fights someone else like that.
But that's the thing about him. He'll fight and then he'll go away again. He'll fight and then he'll go away again. Honestly, man, if I were in your corner, Kell Brook, I would tell you that you need to just stay over here in America and stay in these gyms and find out what you're really made of. Yeah. That way you know where you stand.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, this is where the big boys play.
Yeah. And
all the best, man.
That's just being realistic. It's not a spit in nobody's face, but if you really want to know if you got it, you got to stay over here in one of these gyms.
Just like the NBA. I mean, you got people from across other countries that come here. Why? Because this is where the elites play.
Yeah.
Just like in soccer, all the best play in Europe. Vice versa. Yeah. It is what it is. All the best boxer gyms, best mind gyms are right here.
Absolutely. And it don't matter if you started playing professional at 16 over there. You ain't shit till you come over here and prove yourself.
That's right.
Like, that's a fact. Right. As far as basketball goes, and I think boxing too, you ain't shit till you get over here. Like, don't nobody care. Nobody care till you get over here and show it.
Exactly.
Because this is where you made it right here.
Yeah, very few, man. And I know the only one who actually stayed was Amir Khan.
Yeah.
He's the only one who stayed here.
Yeah. Him and Maidana.
There you go.
Him and Maidana.
That was a crazy fight, man, by the way.
That left hook to the body he called Maidana with.
Yeah, Maidana threw his hands. It hurt. He
was like, ah. I know how you feel, Maidana. I know just how your whole body lock up.
Dude.
Your whole body lock up.
Maidana gave him hell, bro.
Yeah,
because Khan went life and death with this dude. He didn't stop. Maidana kept coming.
I want to know what made him fucking move up to fight Canelo after 2 years of being off Amir Khan. Like, what made him sit and think that that was a good fight to take?
The only thing I can say is money. That's it. I mean, I don't see anything else. Why? Like what do you gain from that? Going up two weight divisions when you have not been active for 2 years.
Yeah, for 2 years. And what were you thinking that oh, my speed would carry me for 12 rounds? And not to say that I'm not saying that to disrespect him, because I give him a hell of a lot of respect for going up 2 weight classes and fighting. But like what was the thinking behind that? And like who said like, yeah, you can do it?
Do you think maybe he talked to his coach? What's his name?
Virgil.
Virgil. Maybe
Some,
he's like, maybe Virgil's like, you know what? I see some deficiencies. You're faster. You're mover. He struggles with movement at the time. Maybe he thought, hey, we could edge this out. I don't know. I don't know why he took that fight.
listen, that was the Canelo I said was at the time. I was like, yo, I think he's starting to try and figure out what he can do. And that's all he was doing. That's all he was doing. He had the fight where it didn't look good against Mayweather. Then he came back against Kirkland. We all know what that was. That was a guy that, okay, I'm going to pick this guy because I know I can get him. And then I'm going to just start building from there until I get all the good fights. So I don't know what Amir was thinking about. Amir Khan was thinking about. Like I at 147, 140, 135 or whatever, like I liked Amir Khan, but when that fight was made, I was like, this is bad.
You already saw that KO in your head.
Yes, I did. As
soon as it got announced.
Yes, because and the thing that started replaying to me was when Amir Khan got knocked out by Bradis Prescott. That was the first thing that popped into my mind. I was like, oh shit, you wanna fight Canelo?
You pictured that, boop, him going out.
And then the second thing that popped into my head was Danny Garcia chasing him around, trying to knock his head off.
I always remember that fight, the way he went out. Shit. Man, he had that fight too. He was smoking Danny.
And Danny just
countered him.
He just touched him.
That hook. Boop.
He touched him.
And it's over. It's like, yeah.
And that might just start wobbling around the ring. I was like, oh,
yeah. The spaghetti legs came out.
Yeah, he man.
Get a hold of himself, man. Now you got Danny Garcia going up now, right?
You really think he's gonna go up?
I think he is, man. I think he knows. I mean, what else can you do? You already fought the best one of the best at welterweighting, lost. What do you do?
Three of the best. He fought Sean Porter, he fought Keith Thurman, and he fought Errol Spence.
Right. So what do you do now? Who else? I mean, there's no one else. Well, actually, there is. His name is Bud Crawford, but he ain't gonna get that. So he's probably like, man, I got nothing else to go up to 154.
Yeah, and especially if you're sitting around like you're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
But who does he beat at 154, 154?
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the maybe top, man, I know he can't even touch the top 5 guys. He can't touch. Top 10. Man, it's hard. I think he'll lose to Laura.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, Laura went up. Laura's at 160.
Oh, he went up. Oh, that's right. The one that just happened this weekend.
The one that just happened, yeah.
With the cornflake.
Yeah. La Mana or something like that, right? I don't know how to say it, but yeah.
Which he got a WBA belt, which I don't know how.
That shit is so suspect, man. They just be doing this shit. And to me, I wouldn't even accept the belt because all you doing is paying sanctioning fees to have the fucking belt to begin with. Like, what's the whole point of me having a belt that really ain't mine?
Bro, these organizations, man. These organizations, man.
They hustling. They just hustling these guys.
It sucks, man. I'm like, what? What title? I sit back and I'm like, who has them? I'm like, you got the guy Royota Murata, okay, and then you got Eubanks. So that's it. Well, you got a title?
That would be a good fight too.
Eubanks and
Charlo.
man, yeah. I think I mentioned this in the last podcast, I believe. Or maybe in our phone conversations
Mm-hmm.
that man, I wish Jamal would have went for Eubanks instead of the guy he's fighting this year.
So that fight was supposed to happen in 2020, but it fell through.
Oh man,
I think when COVID really picked up,
it just fell off.
yeah, they just let the fight go because they no seating and all that, so uh, they
You can't
canceled
pay
that.
these guys,
Yeah.
man.
So they had
You got to pay these guys somehow.
yeah. Yeah, they had canceled that fight, so Eubank was left out in the cold. That's how he ended up being with Roy Jones because he didn't have a trainer and all that, or he was trying to find a new trainer or whatever it was. He talked about it. He recently did an interview. He talked about it. He was saying I was supposed to fight Charlo. That was going to be my fight in
Okay.
2020. He said that was supposed to be my fight in 2020 to test myself to find out where I really belong at in the division. He said, and then COVID happened and it messed up all my plans. He said, so I sat for 15 months trying to find a new fight.
Damn.
Yeah. He said,
But
so
that will be a good fight, though.
yeah, he said,
right?
so I end up not having nowhere to go. And Roy invited me. I forgot how he said it, but if I'm butchering the story, my fault. But he ended up being at Roy's place training. And after he was there for a week, Roy asked him, you with me or you leaving? He said, I'm staying. I ain't going nowhere. He said, that's all I want to know. He said, after that, he said Roy was his trainer.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. He
Man,
said,
shout out to Roy Jones Jr.
yep. Roy said, and in the interview, if I can remember, because he recently did it. It was just like a couple of days ago.
Send me the link after the podcast.
Absolutely. Roy said in the interview, he said, it's not that Chris Eubank Jr. can't fight. I forgot how he worded it, but he's basically saying, I know he'll go out there and try to get the knockout. I know he's fast. I know he's talented. He said, but I don't just want him to be a talented fighter. I want him to use his damn head. He said the moment he started using his head and being able to use his mind to think and put guys in certain positions to make it easier for him, he'll make boxing easier. I want him to box. He said, I don't want him to go out there and just throw punches and slug. I want him to think. I want him to be more of a boxer. He said, because once the mind is sharp enough to box, he said the rest of you, he said, I think he said you got the rest of the guys beat once you know how to do that. He said, yeah, I know he can throw punches. I know he can throw punches and bunches. I know he can knock guys out, but that's not what I want him to focus on. And then when you watch that fight, I was like, okay, I see it. I see it because a couple times Eubank had a chance to get him out of there, and he stood back and he boxed. And they asked Roy, they was like, why didn't you tell him to go ahead and get him out of there? He said, because he ain't fought in 15 months. He needed to get them rounds.
That's smart.
He said he could have got him out of there in 2 or 3 rounds if that was the case. He said, but I need him to use his mind. He need to understand what's in front of him and how to use his skill set to better help him out. That's why the kid was jabbing and he was doing all those different things. I was like, okay, cool. I get it. I see it. But that would be a good fight if they could make that fight.
That would be good.
However, he fights Montiel, Charlo, Big Charlo.
Yeah. Montiel Macias.
Yeah.
Coming, I forget who knocked him out. Or no, he knocked out Kirkland, right?
Oh,
recently?
Yeah. I didn't, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. I think that might be him, bro. I might be wrong. But
yeah, I was like, damn, James need to get back with Ann Wolf or somebody that can, uplift him and put him back into a good place.
Yeah, because man, he did a stint in jail not too long ago. Like, man, it's hard, bro. I don't know. Some dudes got to really stay in the gym, man, because then, they fall over when they're not active.
Yeah. But it's that discipline and whoever's in your corner too, right?
Right. That matters too.
Yeah. Yeah, but I can't wait for this fight, man. Like I'm excited. I'm happy to see that Canelo is fighting some somewhat decent competition.
Yeah, young
Um,
competition.
yeah, it's not an old, tired, worn out guy, so this should be good. I think BJ.
70,000 fans,
Woo!
right? Is that what they said?
Yeah,
That's good. People keep saying boxing's dead. I don't know how,
it
you
ain't
know.
dead. It's
So
just a bunch of bullshit happening, and we need to cut the bullshit out so we can get to the actual boxing of the, that makes this sport so great. But it's a young fighter. It's a guy who's never been, hurt really, as far as I know. He's light on his feet. Billy Joe Saunders is who we're talking about, but I got a 7-4, seven. I got an 8. What did I say? 7-5, and you got an 8,
um,
8-4.
four. Okay, four. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens. Definitely, man. We'll see. I hope it's a great fight. I hope it goes competitive and DJ Saunders comes to
I,
knock
I
his head off too.
I do
You
too,
know?
because that's the only way he's gonna win this fight. That's the only way. Remember, the saying has always been, to be the champ, you gotta beat the champ.
Yeah, you gotta take that shit away from him. You know, you gotta go in there and take it. You gotta try and take it off of him.
Yep.
And we'll see, right? He got, and then what's intriguing me is also the fact that he's finally facing a lefty. He hasn't faced a lefty since Laura. So I'm interested to see how he'll adapt to a lefty at this type of, at this level that Canelo's at right now.
I
So
forgot.
I'm
Damn, I forgot
curious.
about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Think about it, my guy. Think about it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm kind of interested in that too. How is he? How far has he come along since the days of Laura and Trout? So, so everyone keep an eye on that and see how he does. Because we'll see. Oh, and also I want to plug in this one for people who are going to watch it.
Do it.
There's also this really good prospect that's on the card, and I've been watching him. Keyshawn Davis.
Mm-hmm.
He will be in this card. I
Mm-hmm.
like this kid. He's making noise, and I see the future bright for this kid too. I put you on him before. Um,
I'm not sure.
yeah, look him up, or I'll send you some link after the podcast. Keyshawn Davis.
He had a fight like a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's always on the undercard, so
Yeah.
people, he's coming up, so he's always opening the show or just like first, second fight, second, third fight. So
Is he the cousin? And I could be wrong. Is he the cousin of Shakur Stevenson, or do I have that wrong?
you might be right. I think you might be right.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure, but we'll check it out later.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we'll see what's up. But definitely, man. This should be an interesting fight. I think BJ is gonna do well early, but it's just that avalanche and that engine of Canelo. Like the moment he starts to figuring out where you are, how to throw shots to anticipate where you're gonna be when he lets his hands go and they connect. Like it's just certain things that Canelo, like it's simple things that outside minds who don't really understand boxing, like it's little small details and sciences that of it that certain types of people just don't understand that Canelo knows how to do. Like this is just not nobody
Yeah.
just throwing wild shots and just trying to hit you. Like this dude knows what he's doing when he's placing these shots. So I look forward to it. I'm very excited. It'll also be the big bro's birthday weekend, so hopefully he ain't mad at me for,
Ooh,
yeah.
woo.
Hopefully he
There
ain't
you
mad at me
go, man.
for being drunk and shit at his place.
There you go. You guys gonna have to fight over it?
If I'm allowed over there, I don't know if I'm allowed over there, man. Like I was over there drunk and shit. Got
There
had
you
too much
go.
to drink, but I had a good time.
That's good, man.
But yeah, it
Nothing
was
beats a great fight night, bro.
no
Nothing,
nothing. Especially when you're around
man.
good people. And the best
There you
part
go.
about it is, that I pay for this shit. You know what I'm thinking of doing though, bro? I don't know if you thought about this. Just paying for the zone for the year.
No, I haven't thought about that actually. No, I'm still paying month to month.
I am too, but if you pay for the whole year, it's like $8 less each month. Like if you go back, go look
Oh
at it. Just
shit.
just go
I'll
check it
go
out.
look at it.
Go check it out. And that's not me
Definitely
trying to
that change.
plug the zone because the motherfuckers ain't paying us for this shit.
No, not at all. No, shit.
No, but that's just me just saying. I looked at the pricing, and I don't know how. I ain't gonna say how much mine is, but um, based on what
Okay,
I looked at, and for the whole year, it's $8 less a month for real. Like you're saving, you're actually saving cash by paying for
cool,
it for
cool,
you.
cool. Yeah, we'll talk about it after the show. Let me know.
Absolutely,
I'm interested
absolutely,
in that. Definitely.
yeah,
Hell yeah,
hell yeah.
boy.
Anything else you want to say, or you want to keep going or get off here?
Uh, no, that's pretty much it, man. I'm all set.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
Once again, my guest, well, not my guest, my host today was Cesar Hernandez.
there it
Uh,
is.
yes, sir.
Burr, burr, burr.
This is another episode of Clean Breaks. This weekend will be the Canelo Alvarez BJ Saunders fight. Hopefully that you tuned in and you enjoy it. We shall enjoy it as well, wherever you are, whether you're using it from your phone or from your TV or wherever you plan on being. Hope you guys enjoy it. Be safe. Take care of yourself. We gonna get about this thing, man. Deuces.